Hey everybody, Coach Gary here. Glad you're here. The NFAR Episode 4 is about to begin. Let's go. Welcome back to Episode 4 of the Non-Fiction Audiobook Review, NFAR for short. I'm your host, Coach Gary Micheloni. If you're new to us, here's the deal. Every week we feature great non-fiction audiobooks, books currently published on Audible, and we give away free Audible review promo codes so that you can listen quickly and help support independent authors. Your fast listening and honest reviews help these books get noticed by Audible, and that helps the authors tremendously. You'll also get our weekly NFAR community updates, plus 2 special segments, the ones to watch and the NFAR Mini-Spotlight. And after that, we dive into our featured audiobook review of the week. Today we're adding a new segment for the first time, so let's jump into the ones to watch. As a narrator, I look at audition scripts for dozens of books every week. And what's obvious to me is how many incredibly talented independent authors there are out there. Authors whose names you may not know, but whose writing deserves attention. Most audiobook listeners only ever see the big names, the traditionally published authors. But the wider world of indie authors is where the creativity, grit, and raw storytelling really shine. So each week, I'll share one indie title that caught my attention, something worth keeping an eye on. And that's what we call the ones to watch, our pick of the week. And this week I came across The Girl Who Left, Cleared to Speak by Diana Zaitseva. It's a memoir of a bipolar disorder, faith, family, and rebuilding the self. It's written for everyone who kept going when no one clapped, and for those who prayed at 3:30 in the morning and finally heard an answer. It's a beautiful and gripping concept, and it's one worth watching as it makes its way toward audiobook production. Now, does that sound intriguing or what? Well, that's our ones to watch for the week, celebrating the amazing talent in the indie author community. So now let's go to the NFAR Mini-Spotlight. Our main review is coming up, but first, our NFAR Mini-Spotlight. It's a quick highlight to bring your attention to a newly released audiobook that you may want to pick up today. So the Mini-Spotlight this week, Living Well Within Your Means by Renee Thionville. Now, this audiobook just launched. It was my honor to narrate it. Renee shares a lifetime of personal and family financial wisdom wrapped in practical, encouraging advice. And here's something special. Renee turns 99 years old this month. Send him a message if you get the chance. And if you'd like a free promo code for this book, for his book, send me an email and mention the title. And then I'll also have details coming at the end of the episode. But it's a great book, and you'll really enjoy it. All right, let's move on to our featured review. The main audiobook review for the week, That You May Believe, written by David Ray. In this episode of the Nonfiction Audiobook Review, we take a thoughtful journey through That You May Believe, written by David Ray, a book that bridges faith, history, and reason with clarity and compassion. Ray's goal is simple, to help listeners understand the life of Jesus, his miracles, his teachings, and his resurrection in a way that strengthens belief. The title comes straight from the Gospel of John, where the writer says, "These things are written that you may believe." From the opening chapter, this audiobook feels personal and intentional. Ray walks through key biblical moments, the virgin birth, the crucifixion, the empty tomb, not to overwhelm the listener, but to open doors of understanding. He writes with the steady tone of a seasoned teacher and a caring pastor. There's no pressure, there's no argument, just truth presented with love. What makes this audiobook shine is its calm balance. There's scripture, has personal reflection, historical context, gentle but confident faith. As a narrator, I found David Ray's writing natural and steady, the kind of script that invites the listener to slow down and reflect. His message is clear. Faith is not fragile. It's strong, it's thoughtful, and it stands tall on both evidence and experience. By the end, That You May Believe reminds us that belief is not the absence of doubt, it's the courage to trust through uncertainty. So if you're looking for a faith-building audiobook with heart, wisdom, and a clear message, this is one worth adding to your library. That's our featured review of this week. And speaking of listening, it's time for this week's free audiobook giveaway. I have a limited number of Audible promo codes for That You May Believe by David Ray. But remember a cardinal rule here now. Only request a code if you can listen within 2 to 3 days of redeeming the code, because a fast listen is the greatest thank you that you can give the author. How do you claim your free code? Pretty easy. Just email reviewexchangegroup@gmail.com. That's reviewexchangegroup@gmail.com. Subject line, put That You May Believe, and I'll reply with a unique promo code and the Audible redemption link. If you miss out on the free codes, you can still support the author. The book is listed on my narrator page, and I'll have links in the show notes. And since I'm also an Audible affiliate, your purchase may earn me a small commission, and it helps support the NFAR podcast. And once you listen, please take a minute and leave an honest rating on Audible. The author and the narrator would appreciate that. That feedback is the lifeblood of indie authors, along with listening all the way through the audiobook. That's important too. A big thank you to today's featured author, David Ray, for sharing his work with the NFAR audience. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the Non-Fiction Audiobook Review podcast so you don't miss upcoming features across our favorite genres of faith, family, business, life, and relationships. And remember, almost everything in life is a relationship, isn't it? Keep listening, keep learning, and keep taking action. Now, for the NFAR, I'm Coach Gary. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.